So this week we talked about Symbaloo. Um, I think that Symbaloo is a great resource for teachers to have. Um, they can use this in the classroom. I think that if you're using it for younger kids, I would think that maybe having just books on there specifically or educational learning games would be great for that. But if you're wanting to do other things, like I know some second graders or some schools do coding and things like that, I think that that would probably be for, like I said, second grade and up. I think that Symbaloo is a great resource, though. It's easy to use. Your kids can create it, they can have it how they want it to look, they can do it on their own. Um, so, I mean, um, Symbaloo is a great resource. We can click on our website and it takes us to it. So we use Storyline. So if you want your kids to go to a book that you're reading in class, you can go and say, use Storyline online and find this book, and we'll read this one, and then we'll go to the next thing. Same thing with like educational games or Kahoot. You can have them click on Kahoot right away, and then they're able to join in your game. Um, I just think that Symbaloo is a great resource for classrooms just because they are starting to get more technology based. The ISTE standard that I used would be Empower Learners and Knowledge Constructors. Empowered learners just because it lets them create their personalized, like the dashboard, they can organize it how they want. This setup empowers them to manage things on their own. They get to create it how they want it to look, know where things are at, and then you can also um, use something in the school that you can see their screens and you can manage their progress. Um, Knowledge constructor, just because they're going to understand how to use this website and understand that the use of other websites they'll also be gathering and using those information and just creating new ideas for that. The second thing that, or then we go to the content standards. So the standard that I used for both Symbaloo and Wakelet was English language arts slash literacy. The standard is analyze and evaluate digital text for credibility and relevance. So students assess online sources and construct information from those responses. So this would be for grade 6, which these would both be great resources just for those kids that are also in 6th grade. You can use them for younger, but I think that as they get older, I think that the more we use the technology in schools, I think that they would be meeting the standard. So for Symbaloo, they're creating their own personalized web mixes, watching videos, looking at blogs, things like that, and they're also organizing resources into columns, and they're comparing perspectives and evaluating source credibility. So if they're putting things on Symbaloo that aren't credible, we could also go through and evaluate that. Um, I think that being able to organize this and showing them how the website should look, or even having them group things into things that go together or compare together, would be a great resource. Um, and then our next thing that we talked about was Wakelet. So this is my Wakelet. We can go to collections. I'm not sure. Okay. Um, but we can go to collections, see all of our tools pasted on there. So even then, whenever we're using Symbaloo, you can have them use these at the same time. So if one website is down, you can have them use the other. I think that this is also a great resource just for the reason that they're getting to see both the Symbaloo and creating something of their own. Using this in the classroom, I think, would be the same as Symbaloo. The items can be used to learn about science, math, social studies. I think that Wakelet would be used for older children who are more experienced on computers and iPads and other devices that you would use this on, though, just for the fact that they do have to copy and paste items in there. Um, the ISTE standard that I thought went with Wakelet would be digital citizenship, just because students curate and share content responsibly on Wakelet. They also practice ethical behavior and learn more information about literacy and reinforcing their role as responsible digital citizens. I also had them as knowledge constructed on there just because they're building around a certain idea that you might post in the classroom. They're using different websites and helping them build the understanding of the topic that they have, just so we can see where their learning is at. And then I use the same Nebraska content standard and indicator as the English language arts literacy, just because they're creating digital portfolios where students can put notes on there and reflect on their own thoughts and also share with their peers and connect on there. Um, they're integrating multiple uses of technology that are supporting their needs in the classroom, not only through just reading, but like I said, through math and social studies and science and items like that. So when using Wix, I think that this is a great tool for teachers to share with their students, but also to have their students be able to share something in their classroom, such as if we used a math topic, they could go and find websites that teach the math topic, or things like I said, coding earlier. I've seen numerous schools start using coding, so they can use this website and post their coding websites or other items that they may use to help them code, whether that's a worksheet or other things like that. I think that both of these websites are going to be helpful in the classroom, using them in the right areas of grade level, though. Like I said, I think that it would be probably for second grade and up, just because there is things like searching ideas or having to copy and paste things into the websites that younger children may not understand. We can use Symbaloo for the younger kids just because they only have to click on an idea and not have to scroll through and maybe read things. They can see the icon and maybe understand. And you probably could use Wakelet for the kids too, just because you can go on and click. We'll use Storyline again. So you can go on and click, and it'll also take you to that website. But I think it might be just a little harder for some kids because they may not. Sometimes we don't see the picture